You do the
impossible
entry.
flakes and Seaside's taken away.
Oh, what? Oh, hey. Yo, what's up, dudes? I was just, telling Flakes to take it, but then I rudely interrupted you guys and I heard a giggle. We're just good today. We're just professional guys. I'm wearing a suit. I walked out of bed wearing a suit and a tie.
Yeah,
And
I didn't even walk out of bed wearing
smelling
a
good.
suit. I slept in it, dude. I was prepared last night. I have all my notes like sticky taped on the ceiling. I was reading them while I was sleeping. Life's good.
I hope the analyst loves us because we love them too. And I mean,
we
Binary
appreciate
Dragons, we do. They're cute, in a Kappa Pride kind of way. Well, Binary Dragons, they get the opening pick though, and they have a kit. Hunter just got demolished. That aim punch was way too much for him to deal with. He got gushed. Crosshair went to the moon, and I guess he just couldn't land on the moon. It was kind of like the good old classic race to the moon.
Yeah, the race to space is somewhat, a bit all over the place this time. Storyline that just go awry as we see a bit more of a push coming from Emmy. He is hungry for more, wanting to get that blast off now in this round. The advantage for the CT side. He can't quite find it. Instead, he decides, you know what I do right now, Seaside? I fall back. I play smart. Play a little bit more passive. But it does mean that he's put on a bit of a pedestal now to hold up against Short as he taps on away, searching for that headshot, but he can't quite find it. It's getting rougher and rougher by the second they rotates. They do come in, but they've been literally strung around the place because this is a fake and a half, confusing you just as much as it confuses me, as we see one hell of a play come out from Impossible, where they get the bomb down, planted for Short, trying to be denied by Emmy, but he cannot find a headshot for the life of him. This man is struggling, finally gets away with it, but all but too late, as Cracker playing from ramp is going to tap away and begin to yet again mow down his opposition. A nice little trade will come in, but Plaza's still standing. The flank from CT as well holds so much value. It means the CT side, they hold one man close to the chest. It is Lennon. He's the man that has to make the play here, but he's still sandwiched in by two players alike. This is going to be incredibly tough for him to come out on top of as he decides he's got to go aggressive. He runs in towards connected, darts on forward, takes the fight mid. Plaz takes him down. A swift headshot, something Emmy just could not get going. The amount of opportunities that man had at the start of that round to have an impact. Unfortunately for him, luck was just not on his side. The headshots, they never came through.
They got baited hella hard from showing a little B pressure. They lost Hunter early. And Binary Dragons just fully committed to the rotations, knowing that they, were a man down. They had to rotate. They hard rotated, not even leaving anyone in CT, which is the normal play where you leave a player spotting from CT instead. But then he rotated every single member. Now they're going to be down to Deagles, CZ57, Impossible. Well, they'll have the SMGs out, the farm machines. Hunter, will he have any luck this time? Gets the first good trade from Insomni with his AK as Impossible. Well, they'll take their AKs up towards mid, take the range of battles. And it's all an Emmy alone towards towards Van, excuse me, as that Molly forces him off, down to 82. And I'd like to see him use the smoke and flash before he goes down, even if the smoke's a little irrelevant. So yeah, smoke goes down, spots player catwalk. And with a CZ, this long-range engagement is so difficult, but how does he come out on top? Insomni with the AK falls. Arky pushed into the site. He should just have a free farm. And this round is now starting to pretty much tilt the way of Impossible, leaving it all on Litany.
I think they've wrapped it up nicely now. A few little fights to be taken here and there, and perhaps a fight in towards market will eventually lead to that pivotal moment of just success for Impossible, where they try and sneak in a bomb plant as well, just to make a little bit of extra dollar, because we know just how important it is. You got to get by. They go 2-0 up, controlling that CT side, and we kind of talked about it. We were joking around about it. We said, does this go 3 maps? Does this go, just 2-0 right here, right now? And an interesting point you mentioned is the idea that you feel like Impossible with the sort of team who need that first map to get some sort of traction in a matchup. Do you think this pistol situation really kind of deters away from that?
What's up? Sorry, I was grooming my beard.
It's an intense process.
I'm 20. I try to grow out some facial hair to look a little more less like a 12-year-old. 4 weeks in, I got little stubbles. It's a struggle.
Man, you got to take experience from the man who rocks the baby face until the very end. You just got to let it happen. You just got to go for that cute look instead of the beard, because the beard, it doesn't come.
I save money
the entire time.
I save money. I don't have to buy razors. I don't have to buy shaving cream. Yeah, it's all good. Steal my sister's razor. Gross. But damn.
Confessions, as C said.
Yeah. Pro tips, dude. Impossible, however, you know, those SMGs will farm up, so they'll have money. But I think this is going to be more of a quick play from Impossible, considering they're keeping 3 SMGs. They'll probably send the op and the AK towards top mid, drop the bomb to the SMG players. You're going to work out a BAPS. I mean, pretty cut and dry. Looks like it's going to be the opposite, as I send the MAC-10 towards top mid with one more support player. As Letney gonna smoke off that connector, take a peek towards Cracker, and that's the MAC-10 down. It's Impossible. Gonna hit B with all 4 players. Smokes flashes over. And again, these rotations seem a little bit slow, but there is the op towards Catwalk to lock it down. First frag. Gonna go Binary Dragon's way. As soon as these entries come in from Impossible. Savat gets the first, can't spin around in time, and it leaves it all on Plaz with the op, holding for the repeak. He's quick, but not quick enough. Joxic, that's gonna be a second for the round.
Nice thing there was Emmy not only threw a good pop flash, but the ADP supporting from short really just made things so good for Emmy there, and kind of bad for Impossible on the counterpoint. For some reason, the T-side felt it was, you know, the smart play to not check Van until the 3rd person push site. Now, I don't know if you can kind of, you know, picture a side push right now in your head, C-side, but if it's the 3rd person checking Van, how many people have to die before you finally get that trade? It's just too risky. You gotta be doing that much quicker. Joxic now gonna try and emphasize that fragging ability over towards mid. Doesn't quite work, however, as it is gonna be Cracker and Savet to both combine and get themselves 2 kills apiece for the Impossible side. Binary Dragons are on the back foot this time around, looking to trade away at the round they just found. But Emmy on short, making sweet work of the head of Savat.
Emmy goes back for more. Binary Dragons down. Oh man, down. Joxic and Nino. Last 2 remaining. One's on A, one's back bench. And Jockus and Joxic. The Jock. Jokic has a chance to try to make this happen. He has an op. He's dealt damage already to Cracker. Joxic just going to work around back pillar. Cracker spots him. He commits fully to that crouch peek. He'll lose his head now, and it's all on Nino. Through the fire and the flames, he has to push out on the site. Finds the planner. Has to isolate 1v1s, and it's not going to happen. Impossible. Nice double peeks. As they're coming out firing on all cylinders again in the early stages of this game.
Yeah, same sort of narrative, swing hard and fast in the early few rounds. Can they keep it going though? It's a question of stamina as we develop into our 6th. Binary Dragons, they have some interesting weaponry to play with here. UMP, AWP, a second UMP as well. Beginning to see a pretty clear trend in what's going to be employed by this round. Now, I'm not sure whether to laugh or cry.
Why not both?
Yeah,
oh,
I think I'm
yeah,
going to kind of block the
smoke
middle
bounced on the molly. Sick.
Thanks, CSGO.
Now you can cry.
Appreciate it. Now I kind of just acknowledge that this game is just... What is this game? You tell me, C-side. I don't know anymore. Love it when a smoke
It's
just
a
bounces on the molly
sandbox,
like that.
dude. It's a sandbox, an open world.
Yeah, it's actually an MMO, guys. This is World of Warcraft 2.0.
LARPing,
You know-
role-playing, whatever you want.
He wants to try and level up that 5-7, alright? He's going to peek into connector, look to really upgrade that attack power on it from 10 to 15, but can't quite get away with it just yet, as Savat is going to withdraw and play towards short instead, and it means that peek is going to come towards Hunter, so curious to see whether Hunter can get away with it. I think the angle he's got is rather nice, but at the same time, we want to see that connector prowess really unfold in front of us. It's going to be such a key angle for this T side to try and wrangle, and it's nice that as of now, the CT side at least have control of it. It's something they can play with, which in a very kind of low economy standpoint, having control of connector is pretty damn strong. The problem is they're just getting teared apart towards B now. The short push comes in. The minute that happens, it kind of just instigates that this round collapses right in front of us. All we see is frag after frag. Don't let this SMG do this to you. You're getting violated right now. This is just bad CS coming into play from Binary Dragons as UMP hops around the site and gets all of those frags.
And that was a force from Binary as well. I mean, they got reset, so they decided to invest all the money instead of going for a double save. They saved in the previous round. They have rifles here. Instead, they go all in. A couple SMGs, some pistols, and they'll get shut down. Impossible. Now running a double op on their T side. It opens them up to a lot of possibilities from now just holding a default and playing a very pick style or going for the aggressive peaks. It's really whatever they want in the situation. Binary Dragons, well, they're not going to invest anything. And I wonder if Binary Dragons actually talk in Binary, you know? Like their Discord is just like, they have a notepad open, a group notepad. And just 001111000, and that's like their calls.
They just kind of pop out with the numbers. They're like, all right, let's go 110.
Oh, yeah, 110, 110. Yeah.
He's 110, guys.
He's no, he's 0, 0, 0. That's their
calls.
calls.
Check 0. Just check 0 already.
That'd be pretty sick. That'd be a sick team.
I want to see that team happen.
Yo, why didn't you? He's 0, dude.
You know he's 0 the entire time. Nah, man, he moved to 1. What are you talking about? I can just imagine the comms down. It'd be glorious.
Pretty legit. I mean, Binary Dragons, a default with USPs. I don't. I mean, what? They get 2 frags. I was about to criticize it, but they okay, turned it into 2 frags.
You're like ready. You're kind of holding yourself on a leash. You're like you're about
I was about to
dig
whip
into the
them
fact
for
that it's
doing a
default.
default, but
But hey, man, they get on those picks. They just got an AWP for free.
that's
we
what you
watching?
call.
What is this?
That's what you call turning over a small investment. Some
Wow.
good. Jeez.
Their financial manager is pretty happy right now. Fire Dragons, they're feeling it. They're like, you know what, we did good there, but unfortunately they still aren't able to contest around all that much as the bomb is going to tick on away. But still, I think they're pretty okay with saving an AWP and a rifle from this round. I mean, the team who played a default in pistols walked away with a fair bit. So I think they're pretty happy with this. They are going to be literally just wandering away going, you know what, we 0-0 that round pretty damn well.
Sorry, I just had to type in chat. Yeah. One of my
Just how?
viewers, he's like an old dad. He's like 47. He has 2 kids. I don't know if he
that's a-
watches me, if it's like, you know, it's safe, you know. It's safe to watch. You know.
I'm not sure what you're getting at there. The fact that you're safe to watch or his, I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm legal. So it's safe.
Anything can happen, folks. Seaside Swing on Twitch.tv. You know where to go. You'll love it.
Oh, dude, the selfless plug, and I didn't even plug it. I love it. You know, my Twitter's there too. Seaside, yes. 6-1 as Binary Dragons. Well, they'll get the op out. It's time to actually have some rifles behind it. 1 UMP out on Nino. I mean, anything is possible. It's a minute 40 on the clock. Nino's going to play top connector. I mean, that's a safe spot for him to play, even with the smoke blooming. If impossible, want to run up catwalk. I mean, the smoke's on the mark, but it's just all a rabid lose. I can't speak English. Thanks, please.
Hard language, man. You got to go back to the binary, of course. That's where it's at right now. People, when they hear that voice unfold as impossible, they do get themselves a nice little double kill. Hunter is going to respond with the M4 when it's to tear a hole in towards the heart of Plaz, plucks it out of thin air as he brings it back to a 2 versus 3. A cheeky play from Nino as he runs through the fire and the flames, embracing. Is it a Phoenix right now? As he wants to pop up, has to check, man. Oh no, you don't check it. The fight is won by the UMP. Nice Cracker now has an impossible task in front of him. Over on towards short, the tray comes in off the back of a frag grenade. Slam dunk. Kobe would be proud.
An elaborate ruse. That's what I was trying to say. That's difficult.
Some tough words. You gotta like
That
you gotta ease them
really
out.
is.
You know?
Man. English. Going to Pasha School of London. I'm out, dude.
Just become a French caster, man. I want to hear your full French. Like,
Yeah, French caster.
move to Canada. Go live
The
in,
only
like, Toronto or
scene we
something.
have in French Canada is just people yelling at each other in Rainbow Six.
I love how I also said like move to Canada, like you don't already live there. Like, it's all good. You just
Well, sorry,
you,
my
you,
bad, dude.
you flew overnight. It's all good. Hunter, want to look for that frag towards top mid though. Is he gonna find it? Roll the dice. Let us know. There's your result. Were you correct? Who knows? Akamov doesn't get tagged the way through the box. The flash does go over. AWP, you can see it looking for that wallbang right now, but the bomb is ticking on away. They need to make that play from CT. Binary Dragons were patient. They do get a frag as a reward, but Savat should be able to hold off the angle and find that refrag any second now. Nino returning the favor with the AWP.
Ooh.
Doubles down for a quick second as he gets the chest shot on towards Akamov. The peak comes in as well, but Plaz hit firing away on towards Hunter. Makes things that extra little bit spicy. Nino missing a crucial shot, allowing Plaz to do even more. Nino finally slays the beast though, and will get straight on that defuse. A chance nearly able to be taken there by the AWP of Impossible, but ended just before it could get going. Very, very risky stuff, but Binary Dragons, they do connect it. They make that third round happen. And they go half and half on this scoreline.
I'm gonna drop a little fun knowledge on you. Do you know where the dragon on the dragon up came from?
I feel like it's probably got something to do with like cobblestone, right?
Yeah,
Or
if you
has
look at
something to do
cobblestone,
with
the
cobblestone.
dragon hall. Yeah, it's the same
Yeah.
dragon. Damn. Man.
Was that actually right there?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Now
It
I'm
was
not
good to be
sure.
right on
I'm pretty
something,
sure that graphic got posted first because the op gets dropped in those cases from cobblestone. So yeah.
Fun fact for you folks, yet again, dropping the knowledge bombs on the Adria Masters.
Yeah, you know, it's just what I do. I'm just smart like that. Just like Letney. Spawn tap player's gun, gonna take the headshot onto Cracker. as that evens us back up at 4 members apiece. Impossible still have the option to try to find a pick somewhere. Nino going to play towards CT. Binary Dragon's just going to play 2-2 at this point. 1-player window. Listening for the connector push and make sure no one jumps in window. 1-player rotating market. 1-player CT. So nothing crazy from Binary. As Impossible, well, you start to head towards the A ramp. And already 6 rounds on the T side, although I suppose between these two teams, the T side may be preferred on this map, just due to like the flexibility of it and how loose and how much they love the AKs and find these opening picks. I mean, Cash is a bit of a different beast, but I feel like these guys really like the flow of the T side. I feel like Binary Dragons will do equally as well on it.
I think they just have very fluid mechanics as a team on this T side, right? And that applies to both of these lineups in general. Whether it kind of holds true towards Binary Dragons is something only time will tell. I think right now as well, you kind of have to look at it and go, okay, you know, for a T side, you want to make sure that you really try and disallow Binary Dragons to be looking for that 9-6 or anything along those lines. Savat doing a pretty good job of that as he does get that double kill, piercing through the Kevlar of players like Hunter and gets himself a nice little crossfire to cover off CT as well. The AWP is still standing there, finds the shot, should be able to go for a no-scope here. We called it. It comes on through. Can he get the third and final to make this 1 versus 1 happen? Go for the 1v3. Yes, he can. Nino getting over the unbelievable plays right now. A triple kill for him. The no-scopes we call come right on through. A huge play for an incredible player. He carried the first map and looking like he is going to try and carry through the second.
That should not have happened. Savat gets a 4K, pushes jungle. That round's over. Savat takes a peek, possibly whiffed a little bit. He goes down to 2 HP, and then he wins that. Unreal, Nino. You're absolutely unreal. But that certainly shouldn't have happened. Impossible peeked him 1 at a time. I mean, you get in a situation where it's 3v1. Everyone wants a peek, right? Everyone wants to find the fight. Everyone wants to find the frag, especially Savat. He's like, yo, this is my ace. Sick. I'm going to put this into my... What? Did you see that shot from Savat? That just made me lose my train of thought. What was I saying?
Like nothing is new to me at this point because there's so many. He's getting another with the pistol, catches off a player in Palace, and all I've got to say is, Binary Dragons, not like this. This is not the round you want to lose. The UMPs, they have been collected. The debt has been paid. The Lannisters here to claim that little bit more. There was Hunter with the M4A4 begins to fire away, looking for just a little bit more with that rifle. Slam dunk comes in from Toxic, utilizing the frag grenade. But Binary Dragons, they are clutching at this round right by the tip, struggling to hold on towards the site. The bomb is going to go down. It's planted the jungle and short. It's just getting better and better by the second. Nino going aggressive in the CT will find one right through the edge of the box. But this round, there is no sheathing to protect them. This could very well be a round for Impossible.
Wow, that's so big for Arky to get a kill in that spot. Arky picking up 1 makes it so doable. And the damage done to Nino and Hunter. Nino's going to try to hold for this player coming out of Palace. He knows he's there, going to deal with Plants first. But again, more damage dealt. 8 and 6 HP. They're trying so desperately to bait this Palace player out. But Nino, no time, nowhere to look. I mean, getting challenged from both directions, impossible. Well, I mean, that is more than just the tip, I think, Flakes, as you said it.
I mean, you know what? You committed to it. Well, I'll stand by it. I'm all right with this at this point because that right there was some very masterful play. I don't know where you go from there. It's good they called a pause because, I mean, it does us more of a favor than it does them. It gives us
you get a clutch like that from Nino. And then you lose to no Kevlar. I mean, it's like you're flipping the coin hella high in the air, and it's just landing perfectly vertical. You're not getting heads or tails. You're getting nothing.
I just like. I'm so glad. I need to take a minute just to like kind of refresh myself, like just getting prepared. I'm a bit.
Yeah,
bit
you know,
too
actually,
pleased with right now. You know.
You know what song I listen to whenever I need to like get mentally focused, focus up?
Let me know. Hit us up with the
Smash Mouth. They don't stop coming. 10-hour loop.
What? Does that not surprise me?
Just 10 hours straight. I put my
I feel
headphones
like I knew
on.
that was coming, but I didn't want to believe that it was coming. But I feel like deep down inside me, there was something that's like, yeah, he's gonna say this.
I call my dad. Dad goes, "Yo," I'm like, "Hey, can you come put me in my straitjacket?" So he comes over, he puts me in my straitjacket, and I put my headphones on. 10 hours straight of Don't Stop Coming by Smash Mouth for 10 hours. And by the end, I'm a refreshed human being, ready to go at life. I feel like I'm insane enough to actually, get back into CS. So, Binary Dragons just taking a good old tech pause. They lost 1 player. I mean, they need a moment. They need a breath. They might not need straitjackets unless this game starts to fall away from them. I mean, Impossible 7 rounds, or in round 12. they pick up that round with barely anything, and now Binary Dragon's going to be sent back packing a $1,400 loss. And I mean, even the 3 rounds they won in a row, right? Round 8 came down to a 1v1. They kept 1 player alive. Round 9, bomb planted by Impossible. 2 players stay alive for Binary Dragons. Round 10 was that clutch from Nino. So outside of that, they've only been able to keep 1, 2, and 1 player alive in the 3 rounds they've won. So their economy hasn't had a chance to really get pushed up on a pedestal yet. And Impossible win it with just pistols to push them right back down to the bottom. So, I mean...
The interesting thing right now as well is this game really is kind of wide open for a lot of things to happen in terms of scoreline, right? We could see, for example, Impossible just really keep it going and berate that CT side and push forward and try and basically secure an 11-4. But then you also run the idea that we could be seeing a 10-5 or still kind of just a 9-6. I mean, who even knows if we're going to see 9-6 at this point? Anything could happen. This scoreline is so underdeveloped that we really don't know where it's going to lean towards. I wouldn't be all that shocked if we did see something like a 10-5 right now. I think Impossible wouldn't be kind of unheard of for them to allow a round to be snuck in by Binary Dragons, but then the instantaneous response from that T side would be more than likely on board. But at the same time, Binary Dragons, they improved over time in that last map. So who knows, it's not going to happen again in the second.
Who knows, man? Well, apparently, we're having a little bit of internet issues for one of the players, or Joxic. The jock of the team, the college mastermind, the collegiate powerhouse with a whopping 10-inch vertical. It's having some internet issues. So,
wow, what a saying.
Can you believe that? A 10-inch vertical? Isn't that crazy? I mean, I'm envious of a 10-inch vertical solely because I can't touch my toes.
I'll tell you what, let's play a game. Pick a category. You can choose between pop music, movie, geography, science, computers, or literature. Let's make it interesting.
Pop culture?
Gonna go for pop culture.
For 100, Bob?
For 100? Yeah, alright. So let's go for a mixed general pop quiz. I'm ready. Don't play sound effects. Alright.
What's my question?
Your question is, you're never gonna get this. What was the number of members of this boy band at the time of the given recording? The boy band is the Osmonds, the Crazy Horses. How many band members were there at the time of recording?
6.
6 is not an option. Your options are 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Well, it would have been nice to know that.
Sorry, I'm not good at this whole quiz thing, alright? I haven't rehearsed this.
Then I'm gonna go with 2.
Go with 2? Alright, I'm sorry, your answer is wrong. It was actually 5. You were close, but not quite close enough.
Well, I've never heard of them.
This one you should be able to get right. You should be able to get this one.
Yeah.
Who had a hit with this song? Girls, Girls, Girls.
Girls. Is it a rock song or is it?
Do I have to give you your options? Is that what happened?
Yeah, give me the options.
All right. Billy Idol's number 1, Motley Crue is number 2, Twisted Sister number 3, and Europe number 4.
Twisted Sister. Or is it Motley Crue? Oh, my life is in such a...
so close, but so far it was Motley Crue.
Damn it.
Decide 1 question away from going home.
Oh no.
It's looking too intense. You're playing $100,000 on the line here.
Oh.
The AJ Masters prize pool ready to be doubled if you get this question right.
All right, hit me with it.
E-frag. Which band's name was inspired by this? Inspired by a gym teacher in Jacksonville who was notorious for enforcing policy against boys having long hair. I feel like you can skip this one if you want. This feels like quite a hard question.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take my options, take a guess, but then I get one more.
All right, Steely Dan, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Franz Ferdinand, or Jethro Tull?
The steel one.
Which? Option 1?
Yeah.
All right, Steely Dan. I'm sorry, close again, but not quite close enough. It was Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah. What?
Try and find
Names
like
it after
more.
a gym teacher. Like, are you serious? Yeah, we're a cool rock band, you know. My gym teacher used to smell our jocks, so we're gonna name our band after him.
Do you
Anyway,
watch do you watch the Grammys much?
Dude, I don't follow mainstream like Grammys.
I was about to I found a little Grammys category. I was about to get you to try and drop some like Grammys bombs, but looking like a bit of a struggle here. I'm sorry, chat. We've let you down.
Like,
Seaside
I watched
is music
CS:GO.
knowledge.
Why?
You see your play here though, right? You know the big thing about this whole play is that I took control of the situation. I didn't have to answer the questions, so I feel like I'm on the right side here.
Yeah.
Because I would have got none of this.
Yeah, probably.
Like, I feel for you, bro. You took one for the team. You tried to have a crack at it, but unfortunately, it just didn't quite work out for you. But it looks like one thing has come to save today, in the fact that we have had our wonderful little player rejoin Hunter. He's back in the server. He's ready to play some Counter-Strike. Are you?
Maybe. Actually, Solo's joining, so they've lost the more difficult player name to say, and they've gained a red Solo cup. Yep.
Well, can Solo live up to the hype? Can he play some good Counter-Strike? What do you think? Do you know much about the player?
I don't, but I mean, it's always like rough to get thrown into a match, especially if it's coming out of like nowhere. Like if an internet issue arises and maybe he hasn't been playing the game today, maybe he's just been chilling. He's like, I'm just gonna put my feet up, watch my boys play, and watch them destroy Impossible. Then the opposite starts happening. Then all of a sudden he gets the call, and he's like, "Yo, bro, you're playing." So I mean, now he's just starting off the round with a smoke flash P250. Binary Dragons on round 12. Well, they're gonna go all in. They're down to 1400. Instead of the double save, they're just gonna go in for this. I mean, why not? You're gonna get a buy in 2 rounds anyway. Might as well invest here. Your buy is not gonna be as strong, but it's still gonna be a buy in the near future. But Impossible, looking like they're gonna deal some damage on the T side for themselves.
Just to drop a little bit of context for you guys on who Solo exactly is, well, a lot of his experience comes from the likes of Brutopia and such. That's where he really had one of his longest stints, I think, and then of course you can throw back even further into the early days, just to really kind of grind back to the levels of 2016, was to see where that unfolds, as we do look towards mid now to try and catch up with a round of him play. Cracker does get himself a nice little double kill to deal with this kind of low economy side of Binary Dragons, as then they push forward for a little bit more, trying to squeeze out Nido in towards jungle. After thinking, you know what? There's a smoke there, but what do you do when there's smoke there? You tap through it and you get yourself a headshot frag. That's what happens. Standard kind of just ECA strat life, and it works out for him. He gets rewarded with a frag. Hunter and Emily, the last 2 left standing, and they're pretty much trying to save whatever they can here. The scraps at the bottom of the pile.
So actually, I did some research, and I found out a little bit about Solo. He was Binary Dragons coach. He played in the TWC for Team Serbia and did pretty good. I didn't just look at Twitch chat. I researched that all on my own.
See, there's 2 things you can take from this. You can take the research bit, or you can just look at the fact that, Twitch chat, they've got your back, Suso. They appreciate you. They
for
got you
once.
covered. They're dropping those knowledge bombs for you.
I mean, it's not in English, but that was the only English comment regarding it, so.
You just got to trust it's correct.
I'll take what I can get, dude.
Lap up all the information, dude, and make it work. Talking about lapping things up, Binary Dragons are desperate for some dollar bills right now. They are absolutely broke. Standing with just 1 rifle and 1 UMP in round. They are going to be looking to try and kind of almost use those as catalysts in play for this 13th. But even then, 13th round's always pretty damn unlucky, and don't really have much faith in the CT side.
Not yet. I mean, I feel like just due to the Impossible going up against Binary Dragons would prefer the T side just due to the flexibility of it, due to them being able to hold W everywhere and find some frags. But also on the same token, Impossible have that flexibility of the unknown, where they can do random puggy plays and catch Binary Dragons off guard. It's kind of like when teams start to scrim out in pugs and you get upset because you're like, this is a pug, please don't do that to me. It's the same concept. When a player just holds W in an official match, it actually tilts the other team like a ton. And Impossible have been doing a great job of mixing up executions from holding W to pugging to their executions. So I mean, Binary Dragons are probably a little triggered.
That's one hell of a way to break down some plays. I mean, mixing up from just competitive Counter-Strike to holding W and just pugging it out, letting that inner ETA personality inside of you just run wild. Right now, the UMP doing a fair bit, actually. Finding some double kill on short. Hunter and both as well, finding a little bit more. Bomb is going to be now dropped in the open towards short. And I don't know what I've just witnessed. Whether it's the fact that a UMP and a rifle just single-handedly won a round, or that Impossible just continue to charge on into them.
They did the good old 2 catwalk, or was it just 1 catwalk? How many players were at catwalk?
It was delayed.
Oh,
right? Was
you know
like
what happened?
Then a second
They
player?
did a 3-2, but the player with the bomb staggered and just held back until they actually got confirmation that A, it wasn't a stack, and B, they could get the frags and get into the site. So the bomb actually got caught off from a UMP, and well, the rest is it's history. Rip.
Disastrous is what it really was. In its own right, very, very sad stuff. Now they opt to go back to holding W, pushing through the smoke, because exactly as you say, is exactly what will happen. Nice little trades coming on towards the site as well. This T side finding themselves a few heads to tap. They should have really spotted a player on short there as well. I think Solo also just trying to worm his way in towards connected. The smoke is going to act as a perfect little shroud for him to try and toy with as they throw another as well closer on towards that site. Meanwhile, one is going to be dropped into the arms of Insomni. He's flying on stairs right now and finds just another in terms of the setup. He has all the information. There's that second player playing towards jungle, meaning that Plaz is going to peek out. He'll take that fight, go for the plant here as well. And this is a 2v1 that I think they're in some really nice spots to try and play around. They're going to hear the fact that he's jumping up. The call will come out. He'll find the pick, sure, but the trade from Plaz is instantaneous. Very rewarding stuff come out from Impossible. As all in all, 9 to 5, 10 to 5, looking very, very likely. Look at the economy of Binary Dragons.
Yeah, and just as you said that, in the back of my mind, I'm like, they're going to buy it up. They're not going to drop for someone. An op's going to be purchased, and one player is going to get the short end of the stick. And, well, it's going to be Emmy. I mean, he gets told to drop an op from Neo. Yeah, so Solo and Emmy forced on pistols. I mean, there could have been a UMP dropped, and then a rifle still bought up. Instead, they feel like the pressure of the op is valuable. And, I mean, it's starting to pay off already. Cracker gets legged. But Impossible, they have different ideas. They're going to send 4 players through B, and they're going through another smoke. I mean, these guys just don't care. Emmy's going to be so pissed as they just run through his smoke. Hunter has to hold on from get right. Now he's going to get light swung from the player's sight. I mean, he's going to be a little triggered himself now. As, you know, well, he has to try to push into the site. But that smoke's going to make it even more difficult for him. Letney going to start the rotation to catwalk, but look at the player in connector. This might be a keyboard breaking moment.
Yeah, this is about to get very, very infuriating right now for letting us. He's going to be just sheathed in right in the back. Cracker just wielding that sword and slaying him right where he stands. Another peek comes in towards market, and bit by bit things get worse and worse for that CT side as Nino now the last man standing. An AWP that has been flat out useless in this round, to be honest. Sure, had a little bit of pressure amid it, found that early tag on towards Cracker, but notice something, he's still standing. And that right there means that really nothing has been gained off the back of that, to be honest. Even then, even if he found that pick, what changes? The answer is absolutely nothing. Impossible. They secure the 10-5. But Binary Dragons in a very, very tough spot. Now they have to hope this pistol goes their way, otherwise they will start to lose control of a potential scoreline here as Impossible. They want to build away with this map and really shut it down nice and early.
I mean, Impossible picked this up. That means it's a game 3. Is this the first time? This is B bracket, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Do we have any knowledge on that? Is this Group C? Is this winners, losers? What are we looking at?
The opening match.
Opening match. Okay, so that, I mean, it matters, but it's not like, hey, bro, you have to pack in your mouse. So, okay, well, that's nice. Oh my goodness. So that peak, he just runs out mid. Not only does he have the balls to run up mid and try to take a challenge towards top mid, but he also runs back and challenges underpass. He doesn't even care. So that gets the opener. As now it's 10-5, Impossible. Man advantage, just going to be playing jungle, CT, using the range of these USPs. Binary Dragons, they have a player with a smoke flash and a nade. We'll see where those are actually going to get tossed, but Binary Dragons looking good until Emmy finds that frag. Good tap in from Insomni. As I meant, Impossible are looking good. Man advantage, but gushed into Kobe. That's how it falls apart. Binary Dragons get the A site. Now Impossible have to retake.
It's all about getting that combo break right as now they're just going to charge into his jungle. Just crushing somebody before he can even try and reposition. That again is another really infuriating moment. It's now Impossible trying to really crack out a way to respond here, but it's looking very, very unlikely. Enemy backs up into his opposition, but somehow gets away with it. Still standing, including the frag. I mean, very odd situation, but fair play to the guy. Now is all on Akamon. Will smoke off connector, trying to push them through. The flash will go nice and carefully up in the air, but just doesn't do enough. Emmy peeks out. Doesn't work with this trusty P2000. Does mean that Binary Dragons, they get themselves their 6th on the board, and most importantly, you start to relay momentum going to their T side, which we talked about the T sides of these teams. It wouldn't be unheard of for these teams to favor this side of the map. So with the pistol, it's a really nice little proving ground for Binary Dragons now, right? This is where they kind of get to show us what they've got, show us if they can really start to make things work. I mean, they are going up against an opposition who are forced up as well, bear in mind, so it's not exactly an easy round for them to try and take in this 17th follow-up. It just means they do have the upper hand, at least. I guess that's something.
Sorry, I'm typing to my mom. She wants to know if I want white or white milk.
Do you want white milk?
And what percent?
What
I don't know.
percentage? Talk to me right now. What are we going
Oh, we're a
for?
skim milk family. So
Oh,
I don't know why
skim
she's
milk?
asking. It's been skim milk forever.
Damn right, dude. Skim milk, folks. Life lesson. Skim milk is where it's
Yeah.
at, okay? It's the only thing acceptable.
Yeah.
We're elitist about milk in here, okay? E-frag. You
Yeah.
get banned from chat if you're not about the skim milk life. Civac with the
okay.
CZ. Gonna try and live up to that as well as he does try and break through his opposition. Running right through the tip. Unfortunately, only able to find the one, as it is going to be this T-side. Find themselves plenty of frags here, including a nice little frag grenade dunk from Nino. It is going to be Akimov, the last man standing. Finds himself a little cheeky one with the Deagle, but even then, the trade does come back to haunt him. It is going to be Emmy to hang over his grave, take him down the notch, as Binary Dragons move up to 7.
Sorry, my mom was asking a question if I want cheese bread or regular bread now.
Again, like, it's got to be the cheesy bread here, right? Surely. You kind of want that cheese in
Nah.
your life.
Whole wheat.
Huh? You got to get the whole wheat bread, but then get the cheesy
Yeah.
rolls, surely. The cheesy
Nah.
rolls are, like, they're pretty good.
I'm fat, dude.
So
Impossible.
am I, like...
Yeah, dude, living the fat life. So impossible
like,
going
we
for
have
a
that Fat
stack.
People Alliance. You know, with the UMP. Get some
I mean,
to the site. Max
geez.
10. Doing
Binary.
some work. It's looking good.
Yeah, I mean, impossible one for the stack. That again. Interestingly enough, they actually have one player towards A to keep a little bit of presence. You probably heard him stomping around, but I mean, by the time he says, "Hey, they're here," Binary, they're already out. Impossible just want to try to find some frags. These SMGs now, they're on a farming mission. Some cultivators in the field. Somehow, Solo spins around and finds that frag without going down. So Binary Dragons, though, they're fighting back. I mean, they pick up the first 3 rounds. Buy's gonna come out from Impossible. And again, Plaz goes right to the glass cannon op. So they'll have 3 rifles, UMP, the op in play. Binary Dragons, well, they'll keep their SMGs themselves, 3 UMPs, double AKs.
You know, like, it is going to be a fairly interesting round just off of the weapons alone. A lot of really kind of interesting opportunities for the Binary Dragon side when it comes down to the SMGs they have in play. I'll be going to see a little bit more mobility, a little bit more flair into this one. It's certainly a lot of questions to be answered, as it is going to be a setup leading in towards B. Nice little aggressive move from the CT side, but then unfortunately Plaz fails a basic mechanic. Jumping is a difficult task. Hitting that spacebar really was just an unfortunate point for him. Couldn't quite make it over the ledge, and that meant a trade was found. Akimov does find just another with the M4A4 to secure it to a 3 versus 3, and the problem here is that he's still able to hold off the Snaps push. I mean, that AWP cannot get out. Letten is still having to play around the edge of the wall, and because they're all stuck in these cracks, so intertwined with the site, it allows the rotates to come in from the CT side and really strengthen this kind of like 50-50 retake right now. They do get themselves just another, but unfortunately, Nino, the last man standing, 13 HP. Cracker, is he going for the knife here? He spotted him out, didn't take the shot, but then takes a second chance to take him down, slaying him where he stands. Plus spending a hell of a lot of money in that round, and it pays off.
Jeez. I mean, Impossible, they're fighting for this. That we may just go to a game number 3 here. Binary Dragons, they'll have the op this time out on Nino again. I mean, I say this time, but they're going to get it out again. They've built up a nice healthy bank. They can afford to do so. Utility actually behind it as well. Binary Dragons will get the AKs out. Molly slashes smokes. The typical buy, nothing too crazy. Impossible will have a UMP and a FAMAS. And they're going to go for the opening pick. They know their buy is a little less superior than the AKs that Binary Dragons will have, so they're going to show some aggression, go for early picks. You can see there was an op. Still in connection from Plaz. That Molly luckily doesn't spread upwards. It just stays very contained. It'll only take 1 tick of damage down to 88. Although he won't be able to get the first pick due to it. He doesn't want to re-peek into this. As Hunter and Emmy about to work out from underneath underpass. As Nino, well, he's just going to play it safe and fall back a ramp. He doesn't want to get rushed down. He realized they tried to go for the early pick at the beginning. And now he is just going to fall back and try to stay living with the op. Doesn't want to give a free one over to Impossible. As Binary Dragons looks like they're shifting the players from top mid over towards A ramp. So we may see a full-blown execution towards the A site.
I like this as well from Impossible now, deciding that because they have so little information, they're going to go aggressive and ramp it. Does mean they have a very nice chance of trying to catch off this T side. Fortunately, with an ADP here to hold the angle, it does mean there's a very high chance that he just gets picked away, and that is going to be the case, really kind of starting this push on the right foot forward for this T side, but unfortunately just disastrous affairs through Impossible as a second follow-up shot will come in. Make that a third, oh baby, a triple. Why not just carry it through for a fourth as well? As he's going to be looking towards CT while Hunter Ziku is off jungle with a headshot on towards Akimov. Civet finally will slay solo, but even then Nino is just letting him rip with the sword, just tapping away, just suppressive fire, denying Civet the chance to peek. Finally decides to smoke himself off, but a flash soon to follow up from that T side means he is still cautious on whether he can even take a fight here, let alone do anything else, as he is just desperately trying to stay alive.
Nino even hunts him down. He jumps on the box towards Ticket. That's a 4K for Nino. He's really been going off right now for Binary Dragons. We take a look at the scoreboard. I mean, Nino 27 and 12. Closest to him is Emmy, who's at 17. So I mean, that's 10 more frags than the second most player on your team. He's just going to work right now, from clutches to finding the openers. And what I find interesting about that A-ramp play is he clears close towards A-ramp. He gets the opening pick towards A-ramp, and he even finds another one. He's just doing it all right now, from entering with an op to dealing with the player that pushed aggressively, from dealing with the lurks towards A-ramp at the beginning. Very good play from Nino as Impossible. Back to a similar play they did previously. They hold for B pushes, hold for top mid pushes. You'll see a player work towards underpass. All Nino worries about A-ramp. As Creature actually gets caught out, he might need some help here. As that Molly's going to force him forward. Emmy going to take the swing on it, gets the first. The second is almost there, but he has to reload. He should be okay to get back in time. Binary Dragons, though, about to pick up double digits if this all goes accordingly.
Back into a CZ, give him a rifle, and then allow him to get again, take just another fight. Cracker, you've given way too much there. And Somni as well, just somehow getting himself nested in the corner that apparently is just too useful to check. Some big mistakes coming in from Binary Dragons right now in terms of this just immediate 21st round. Really just don't expect it from them, to be honest. They have to group up towards A-ramp, of course, and still try and make a play. And considering the fact that Impossible only have 2 players at max thinking about the site, right now even just the one, it's not, you know, off the cards that they take this round. It's just now that they've got to deal with a much tougher retake if they do get the site.
They're just going to walk push this. I mean, they have one player in CT. Arky's going to start the rotations. Cracker now is just going to rotate from underpass. So Binary Dragons, time's becoming an issue as well. 20 seconds. Insomnia's just going to play on top dumpster. Arky is just going to be trying to peek, but they let the bomb get planted. Now it's all in Nino. He's clutched before, but a 1v4 might be too much to ask. He gets the first, spots the second towards CT, almost hits the flick. But now he's certainly dead to right, stuck at default, gets spotted, and Cracker headshot through default box. Why not? Impossible. They'll pick up 12, and more importantly, they get 2 free ops.
Interesting kind of fact for you when it comes down to their coach. I mean, I'm sure some people will be kind of thinking to themselves, you know, wouldn't you expect a coach to be able to fix these small kind of microtransactions coming in from the Binary Dragon side? And in reality, kind of Solo isn't really a coach. He's more of an FPLC kind of player, and most importantly, just a childhood friend of a lot of these guys like Emmy and Letney. He used to be in the lineup for a little while back in the past as just their general 6th, but now he kind of just fills the role as a coach, just so that he can basically watch all the matches and prac matches as well, and just kind of be there as a support player for the team as pretty much just a strong friend. He's not really a coach, he's just the guy you can rely on in situations when your 5th disappears, because he knows your strats, he knows how to integrate with the lineup. So that does mean that there is an element of he's just an extra kind of substitute and not necessarily going to be nitpicking at the mistakes being made, and that does kind of allow the floor for Binary Dragons, at least kind of what we see then, to make those small little mistakes that could be so devastating in these rounds. Because it does mean that Impossible right now do hold all the cards at 12-9, and getting them out advantage in this round as well, it really sets the wheels in motion for what could be 13, even 14-9.
You know, just going to be holding one push well. Wow, Letney plays that smoke beautifully. As it dissipates, he comes through, able to find 2 entries. Plaz holding for him to peek towards Tetris. He'll do so. Oh my goodness, that no-scope was actually so close to Hunter. It's Impossible. Bring it back to a man advantage for themselves. He's Hunter and Nino, last 2 remaining. As Nino gonna work his way up catwalk for the ump. He has the bomb on his back. His teammates here to support, but look at Arky's position. Gets the first. They're even a little unsure where that shot came from mid-window to catwalk to connector. There's so many angles that they're peeking into. As that's the second from Plaz. Savat can be holding murder hole, and yeah, he's just gonna find it in the end. So 2 kills for Savat, 2 for Plaz. Arky gets a single 1. Impossible on 13. Pause from Binary.
I think it would be a kind of a nice pause right here to try and pull maybe something of a tactical nature, but at the same time, we have just been informed that this is technical.
Yep. They're getting
Jux
their
is returning.
jocks back, yeah. Solo, it's not even Solo was doing bad either. He was doing alright. He was a good fill-in.
Always kind of 50-50 in these scenarios of whether it's smart just to let the sub play the match out, or play the map out at least, sorry. Like, I feel like...
Considering you have
once a
map
player-
3 if you lose, so...
Yeah, map 3 is always going to be there, but also it's just that Solo is going to be more comfortable now with playing the game. The Jux, he might have been a little bit... I don't want to say use the word tilted, as that feels like a cop-out way of describing it, and that's not the case at all. But he's going to be a little bit frustrated at the fact, you know, he lost internet, he was playing, he was doing some pretty, you know, good numbers as well in terms of fragging power, just kind of what he was bringing to the team. So now, was he sitting there in bots, tapping away while his internet was off, waiting to come back and keeping himself in form, or was he sitting there frustrated, waiting for it to come back? There's two very different realities, right? They both lead to the same thing of just him having to wait, but it's whether he stayed on form and is able to mentally get back into the game now after taking, albeit a short break, but a break nonetheless.
I take a lot of breaks. Walk down the stairs, catch my breath, take a break. Get what I want.
Sometimes
walk back
you just gotta take a
upstairs,
break,
Take
dude.
a break. Just how it works. So I think they're gonna try to get this player back in if his internet's working. If not, I mean you'll see Solo hop back in. So nothing crazy. Although Impossible did just eco Binary Dragons. They invest into, I think they had a UMP, a couple pistols, and they come out like bandits, the double op for free. So, you know, Joxuk is going to be back, and it's actually going to re-register where he left off. So 6, 2, and 9, I think he left around like round 18. I think is when he, no, that was after they pistol, I think, so around 17-ish. Maybe, was it earlier than that? Was it before the half? No, it was before the half, wasn't it? It was before the half.
Yeah, it was like
14. It was around 12, 11-ish, I believe.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was like kind of right
Yeah,
at the, like right at the
Right.
kind of the
right
penultimate
near the
part
cusp
of that
at
first
the
half.
end. Yeah, and he drops again. So I mean, whew, although he disconnected, so that's different than timing out.
I feel like that's more like a config thing, right? He just wants to slap on the auto exec. He can't do that in server in terms of like setting the rates and stuff. So he's probably just going to be getting himself comfortable, making sure he's got everything he needs to at least be physically prepared. And then the mental test is only soon to come. It's going to be something that we see develop as the game continues to unfold. And this is kind of where we have to take a respective glance at the scoreline and kind of start to make the predictions on where we think it's going to flow. Because we're kind of almost sitting on the fence right now. We're really kind of playing both sides of the field, but and it is tough in fairness to kind of almost beat myself to the point in terms of predicting who actually takes this one. But you do have to give some credit to Impossible in the fact that they are holding the 13-9 scoreline. The economy of Binary Dragons is very, very weak, which means that it's hugely likely that
they can't
Impossible
buy.
do get this 14th.
Yeah.
I think from that point, you do kind of have to justify that right now we are looking at a 70-30 kind of matchup with Impossible taking the lead here.
Yeah, unless Binary Dragons can squeak an eco out, some P250, some Deagles, some Tech 9s. What's their loss at right now? It's 2 round, 2,400. You know, I mean, it's... I'm doing some math in my head after this round. I mean, wait, Joxus just rejoined and he has max cash. You see that? you see that, right?
Okay.
So I'm unless they just don't say anything and casually, you know, just unpause.
Just let it
that
go.
would be,
It's all good.
That would
You know,
be.
just
I
gotta
mean,
drop 5
we got
ops.
it on camera. we got it captured, so at least I see that. So
Drop all the AWPs, dude. Just drop like many as you can. That's like at least 3. You're happy. Who needs Kevlar anyway? Just go 3 glass cannon ops. Everyone else can buy Kevlar with these pistols. Get some Tech 9s out. That's good. I assume that's actually getting fixed. I'm gonna go out and say it. I assume that is getting sorted.
yeah, it'll get fixed. We're all good.
There we go. So in the meantime, folks, do bear with us. That is currently get resolved. So just relax for a second, guys. We are gonna just have a little bit of a chit chat. I mean, let's talk about the Adria Masters, right? I think as a concept, it's a really, really cool thing because it's really kind of pushing the kind of domestic level of, well, not even domestic, just that kind of grassroots CS within the regions. So I think it's a really cool little opportunity. Of course, one thing we can do is take a look at the group so far. Of course, one thing that I was kind of watching a fair bit was Group A. That was probably one of the big things that's concluded so far, with Nexus Gaming taking the swift 2-0. Then Red Reserve as well, kind of nipping at the hills with a second place finish as well. Just kind of very, very close in comparison to Forcebuy, and still kind of curious to see kind of what the Red Reserve Forcebuy match will end up like if that does take place. I'd be very curious to see those two teams match up against each other, as I do think they're fairly kind of evenly matched up. Well,
Yeah.
hopping over on towards Group B, Outlaws. I think it was pretty obvious they were going to top the field, right?
Yeah,
And
they're
Dark Passage
nuts.
as well, had it being there. But with that all said, you know, you already chimed in, you said they're nuts. Like, who are the teams right now that have really kind of got your attention? They're the ones that you want to watch.
Outlaws are definitely good. They're fun to watch. Dark Passage, like every team, they have their issues, but they're still really super fun to watch. They're a really good team. Very very sound in their basics of CS. The only thing that breaks down is when it comes down to like mid-round calls. Outside of that, they're a really good team to watch and a really good team to like just cast. Outside of that, I'm really excited for B Pro. I've actually had the pleasure of casting them before. An interesting team in the concept of how they play the match. They like Force Buys, from what I've seen before. But the game, Sensei and B Pro, that should be a really good game to watch. Both teams, pretty big in their regions, I'd say. I mean, they're pretty fair when it comes to matching up with each other. As far as history goes between those two, they've played just once. it was actually DreamHack Open Tours. I believe it was a qualifier, and B Pro actually snuck that one over them. So 16-13, that was on Cobblestone. So interesting. But as we look at the recent matches of the next upcoming BO3, Sensei have been having a little bit of unlucky breaks lately. I mean, they've had to play Pride. They've lost Dark Passage lately in 2 close games. They've had to play North Academy. So the teams they've been playing are pretty high caliber, so I don't want to judge them too harshly on that. Meanwhile, B Pro have 2-0 wins over like Movie Star, 2-0 wins over Pixel Fire, but recently losing to Nexus and Singularity. So these teams should match up fairly well on paper, and it should be a pretty close game, I think, in the next BO3.
I think the next one is going to be just as exciting as the current one is proving to be. Of course, fun little bit to knock out right now, as I know people are kind of aware of the Red Reserve situation, of the fact that I unfortunately did part way with their core 3 of their players, which is, I gotta say, a very saddening point. It does mean that the lineup currently consists of just Knack and BLD, and that does kind of paint a very interesting question mark on what their performance is going to lead to in the kind of the rest of the Adria Masters. But it's something we'll look at in the future as we do find ourselves back into that group kind of there and then. But for now, back to Group C, back to our opening matchup. It is Binary Dragons versus Impossible. This match is about to kick off. We're about to go live, guys. I do apologize for the wait. We had a little bit of an issue with money and stuff. I believe they were just trying to, you know, make it fair play, balance it out to, you know, basically just have that fair play agreement. I hate to repeat myself, but I feel like that's just the fairest way of describing it. You know, fair is the word of the matchup right now, it seems. But either way, we're back. We're ready to get into action. 39 is the scoreline. We've already kind of given the edge over on towards Impossible, especially with the double up setup here. You know, those pistols could try and go aggressive to catch them off guard, but I think for the most part we are looking at 14-9, and from there, that's kind of the big deal round for Binary Dragons, right? That's the one they have to play absolutely perfect when they're on that bye.
Look at it. Oh, that's what they did. Okay. No, that's a fair fix to this situation. So ignore what's going down in spawn. It's all good. It's fixed. The issue has been resolved. So yeah, Binary Dragons would just, I mean, they have a Glock, 3 Deagles, P250. I mean, not much for Binary Dragons to work with. Impossible in the meantime. The double ops, Willing and Waiting. We've mentioned that. But Insomni, if he's not careful, he may get walked up on and take a shot in the dome. But he just catches a glimpse of that player, gets a nade out. It's a chunky nade. Joxic, he's down to 17. Plaz, one of the 2 ops. Good leg shot from Ticket Booth. As he's just not even scared of anyone wide swinging from ramp or palace. He has support from jungle. So he's pretty much just having free reign. Binary Dragons already taking some damage. 2 players, 18 and 17. As Impossible should pick up 14. I mean, against no armor, it should be a slaughter.
It's just Lambs ready to waltz into their death. Gonna at least try and sit tight. Just kind of wandering around. A little bit of grass here and there, trying to find the greener side of life. But it isn't looking all that good for them right now, as they are just going to tiptoe their way in towards Connector. A few shots will come out. Dominic, he's going to find one. Nice little trade comes in from Emmy, in fairness to him. Joxic as well, kind of nests himself just in the inner side of jungle. pretty much setting himself up for that kind of little sideline peek. Wants to go for the rifle here and actually gets it, which means he's going to run back on towards the site, and they actually get a plant here. Go for the spam, gets away with it with the AWP. One way did deny a plant and Sammy as well. Full follow-up, Akamav, the cherry on top, and AWP kill of his own. Impossible, 49.
Not only that, Impossible didn't lose his... I mean, they lost one member. They lost Cracker. But, I mean, outside of that, it's a safe rebuy for him. He actually gets dropped a rifle from Plaz. So it's going to be a full buy, utility mollies, everything for Impossible. No harm, no foul. Binary Dragons won't have that op pressure. They'll have AKs. Impossible now. I mean, here's the thing. They win this round. Binary Dragons, they'll have a 4-round loss. It's going to be a interesting weak-ish buy. And Impossible are going to get aggressive. And Sami actually pushes a ramp. Well, Cracker just has to worry about Palace. So they're playing a very pushed-up aggressive play. This allows Plaz to play from Ticket Booth and worry about Nectar. The Binary Dragon is going to challenge this, and Hunter and Lentney, they're just going to lock it down as Plaz. They've yet to throw any smokes from Binary, so they have to be careful. Joxic's going to take the wide swing of the op. Nice headshot from him to find Plaz. So the op gets one frag before it gets dealt with. Binary Dragons get to sight. And double digits now are on the horizon, actually, as Savat and Arky, yes, they've built up a bank, but I mean, you're at 14. You're going to go up against 4 players from Binary Dragons. You might as well try to play some exits. Binary Dragons hopefully don't run too much, as that's going to hurt their money going into the next round, even with this win. The bomb plant, keep in mind, when you win the round, the plant only gets 300. Your whole team doesn't get the $800. So their money is still going to be hurting, and they can't really afford these hunts too much.
Yeah, I feel like now's one of those times when you actually go, you know what, there's more value in saving than there is actually hunting. Just relax, take away what you've got from this round, and just try and start thinking and not necessarily worrying, but be cautious about this follow-up as well. Because one thing to note is that, sure, 4 rounds is only the difference, but that's still 4 rounds Impossible can play with, which Binary Dragons can't afford to play with those at all. They lose 2, they're out of this one. They lose 1, realistically, their economy is broken. Especially interested in what this AWP can do from Joxic, of course. Now he's found his way back into this game. Looks like we are going to see kind of another A push come in. Could be a pretty solid execute, but at the same time, judging by the fact that Joxic is up towards Palace and they've got a player in mid, I don't think we're going to be seeing kind of full-blown smokes anytime soon. I think what we are going to see is a few faces. They're going for almost a pick-based play. It's as if we're doing an A-sided default. They are just going to kind of lean down on towards the site, hopefully reward themselves a bit of pressure equals a frag. And that's when they'll then just follow up with the push-out ramp. They don't want those smokes. And it's a conscious decision they've made here. One that we see a lot of teams make work, but also can be risky, because Krekker, if he gets a pick like that towards mid, really starts to set the wheels in motion for the rotates to come over. Krekker finds just another. Plaz with the ADP finds the frag on towards Joxic. And bit by bit, Binary Dragons, they just lose all of their manpower. All their momentum just falls apart. Hunter finds just the one to bring it back to at least a contestable point. But the minute they get that player in CT, of course that being Akamov, this retake, I'd say it's pretty damn likely. I mean, the HP of Binary Dragons alone makes it look quite pretty much possible.
Yeah, Impossible. Cracker did so much good work from triple. I mean, he's able to wide swing, get 2 frags. Binary Dragons, their smokes dissipate. And the last 2 members, well, it was Hunter and Emmy. Well, they're out of smokes. Emmy gets himself to triple, or to firebox back default. That Molly gonna deny the plant, forces him by default. They know where he is, and Plans is gonna find the 3rd for himself. Impossible on 15. Binary Dragons. I mean, they just get picked apart. They whip their utility out. The frags still go Impossible's way. Plans challenging towards his bench. He actually runs through the smoke, takes a peek, gets a frag, and falls back. I mean, Cracker and Savat together with the help of Plaz. I mean, everyone on Impossible is putting up numbers, and that's what's important right now, that they're playing as a team, and they're all fragging together. I mean, there's no one really standing out frag-wise. I mean, yeah, Cracker, he's on the top with 23, but outside of that, Impossible is really doing a great job to hold off Binary Dragons. As now Binary Dragons go into an AK, Tech 9 by 1, just glass cannon up on Letney. Maybe that's the answer they need, but Impossible, this round might be it. They can close it out this game and push it to game 3, which is something that wasn't even considered by chance by anyone on the desk, and not even by me, to be honest. I thought Binary Dragon should have this, considering they have another big match coming up later today. I believe it's against Fnatic Academy, so I think everything needs to get cleaned up as Impossible. Yeah, they're back to a 4v4, but weapons advantage still in Impossible's hands unless Neo can find this frag, and well, he's deadly with the op, and now it's in his hands, so it gets scary.
We're looking like he wants to face in towards window. Joxic is going to be there to allow him to meet his maker. Nice and early on, though, as the rifle will tap him away. himself actually intertwined with a little bit of a box here and has a choice to dip in towards jungle if he so chooses. And considering the bomb has gone down here, it's actually pretty damn good for this T side. Nice little drop in towards underpass from Servette. He wants to withdraw and kind of save away, but Juxik, he knows what's up. The smoke will go down. Servette trying to save, but also get a pick at the same time. Very, very risky. Juxik putting his cross in the right place at the right time, but shot didn't quite land. A stray bullet not to be found. Both players will back off, both with an amicable agreement, just not to take the fight. And it is going to be fairly rewarding, at least for Impossible on that front, to walk away with 2 rifles, at least for now. Anything could change, though. There's still time for them to be hunted. Because I'm looking at Emmy right now. Look at how far he's pushed up.
Jeez. He's really on the hunt for the Tech 9. He'd love to find a rifle, and he will. So he's going to be able to get himself an M4. Binary Dragons, they clean up both rifles, so Impossible. I mean, $9,000 on Savat. He'll probably become the bank. Maybe drop a UMP, drop some pistols. I imagine he's just going to be the bank dropping pistols to everyone. Yeah, it looks like there are some pistols on the floor.
It kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Drop as many as you can. Just, you know, even CZ. CZs are pretty damn good nowadays. I think they've found their way into the meta. Being those rapid fire AK-47s or mini AKs, to be fair to them. Droxic starts strong with the AWP, picks away one at mid, looking for the follow-up second, and I think from here it's just much about being safe, right? You don't want to take any unnecessary fights, you want to be smart. No need for them to lose anything here, give anything up to the Impossible side. Clean and competitive, I think.
You know, just jump down. So that, well, he's going to punch him with the mini AK, as you'd call it. Pick up an M4. He has armor behind it. So Binary Dragons have to be careful. So that's been playing really well, and that's 2. He's looking for the 3rd. Hunter, well, counting his lucky stars, a bullet didn't come towards his head. He would have been just decimated. And Savant, he's able to get 2. Now he's going to be able to drop it off if they so wish. Binary Dragons, I mean, 3 more rounds, and we're looking like OT. But Impossible can make it a goodbye with the op on Plaz, who's been, even if it's Glass Cannon, he's been able to find these tricky situations where he gets a pick and gets out. So.
It's so early to tell, though. 3 rounds is a whole lot in Counter-Strike. It's really a fair few. They go for the shot early on down towards mid. Neither of these players can find it, both trying to battle away through a smoke. Jokshik gonna push further and further aggressive, but look at Savant, look at how close he is with this rifle, walks right into his arms. The shot is gonna be a miss. Savant finds himself a double kill. How does he get away with that? Gets himself now off towards the top mid, and suddenly gonna find just another one towards Hunter. That is a match-winning play, forcing us to our 3rd, in fact. As Emmy and Nino have so much to do here, it's not gonna happen. Krekker and Akamov both will get themselves headshots.